On the quiet edge of a small town stood an old wooden house. It hadn't been painted in years, and the fence leaned as if it were tired of standing. Inside lived an old man named Mr. Henry. He was widowed, lived alone, and spent his days reading books and feeding birds on his porch. People in town knew him as a kind man, but also a lonely one. A few streets away lived a young thief named Evan. Life had never been fair to him. He grew up in foster homes, learned early that no one was coming to save him, and survival meant taking what you could. He didn't steal for luxury, he stole to eat. One cold night, Evan heard a rumor that the old man kept cash at home. Easy target, Evan thought. Old, weak, alone. That night, under a moonless sky, Evan quietly broke into the house through a back window. The place was dark and silent, too silent. As he stepped into the living room, a calm voice spoke from the darkness. "You don't need to sneak, son." Evan froze. His heart raced. He pulled out a knife. "Don't move," Evan whispered. A lamp turned on. Mr. Henry stood there in a worn sweater, calm as if he had been expecting him. "If you're here to steal," the old man said gently, "you must be hungry." Evan shouted, "I said don't move." Mr. Henry didn't flinch. "I won't," he said, "but put the knife down. I'm not afraid of you." That confused Evan more than anger ever could. Instead of calling the police, Mr. Henry walked into the kitchen and returned with a plate of food, bread, soup, and tea. "When was the last time you ate?" he asked. Evan's hand trembled. Slowly, he lowered the knife. They sat at the table in silence while Evan ate like someone who hadn't tasted warmth in years. "Why aren't you scared?" Evan finally asked. Mr. Henry smiled sadly. "I buried my wife 10 years ago. Fear left with her." Evan swallowed hard. "My parents are gone too," Evan muttered. "No one ever cared." Mr. Henry reached into his drawer and took out a small envelope with some cash. "I don't have much," he said, sliding it across the table, "but take this, and promise me something." Evan looked up. "What?" "Promise you won't come back to steal. Not here. Not anywhere." Tears filled Evan's eyes. No one had ever trusted him before. "I promise," he whispered. Evan left the house that night without stealing a single thing. Years passed. The old house was eventually sold. Mr. Henry passed away quietly in his sleep. At his funeral, a well-dressed man stood among the crowd, tears streaming down his face. No one recognized him. That man was Evan. He now owned a small business in town, lived an honest life, and helped kids who grew up just like he did. As he placed flowers on the grave, he whispered, "You didn't just stop a thief that night. You saved a life." Moral: sometimes, kindness is stronger than punishment, and one moment of mercy can change a destiny.